In 2008, Dennis Hawkins walked into a bank in Rhyl, Wales and handed the teller a note. It read, "Give me all the money." The teller read it, looked up, and handed it back. She couldn't understand his handwriting. Hawkins took the note, turned around, and left. He came back the next day with the same note, this time printed more clearly. The teller hit the alarm. Hawkins was arrested outside. He had used the same note twice, at the same branch, with the same teller. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison. Albert Bailey. In 2010, Albert Bailey decided he didn't want a scene. So 10 minutes before robbing the People's United Bank in Bridgeport, Connecticut, he called ahead. He told the teller to have a bag of cash ready on the floor when he arrived, so nobody would get upset. The teller put the phone down and immediately called the police. When Bailey's accomplice walked in 2 minutes later, officers were already in the parking lot. The accomplice grabbed $900 and ran directly into them. Bailey was arrested at the wheel of the getaway car. He had called from his real phone. Anthony Caleb Phillips. In October 2003, Anthony Phillips broke into a construction company in Stillwater, Oklahoma. He stole a laser level and $1,000 worth of CDs from an employee's car. 2 days later, he came back to the same building to apply for a job. The owner was reviewing the CCTV footage when Phillips walked in and asked for an application form. He was still filling it out when deputies arrived. When they showed him the surveillance video, he admitted everything. He told them his conscience had been bothering him. Nicholas Wigg. In 2012, Nicholas Wigg broke into a house in St. Paul, Minnesota. He went through the drawers, took some valuables, and then sat down at the owner's computer. He opened Facebook and checked his profile. When he was done, he left the house without logging out. The homeowner came back, saw a stranger's account open on his screen, and called the police. Officers checked the profile. The name, the photo, and the address were all there. Wigg was arrested at his apartment a few hours later. He had nothing to say. Lawrence Ripple. On September 20, 2016, Lawrence Ripple, 70 years old, walked into the Bank of Labor in Kansas City, Kansas. He handed a teller a note that read, "I have a gun, give me money." She handed over $2,924. Ripple took the cash, walked to the lobby, sat down on a bench, and waited. When a security guard approached him, Ripple said, "I'm the guy you're looking for." He told investigators he had written the note in front of his wife and told her he would rather be in jail than at home. His wife attended the court hearing. She sat in the front row. In 2021, Alan Slattery walked into a bank in the United Kingdom and handed a teller a note demanding cash. The teller couldn't read it. Slattery left without any money. He came back 2 more times to different branches, each time with a handwritten note, each time successfully this time. After his third robbery, he boarded a bus. He used his registered bus pass. Police pulled the CCTV from the bank, matched it to his bus pass photo, and had his name and address within the hour. He was arrested at home. He had no cash left. The Loomis Fargo crew. In 1997, David Gant and 5 accomplices stole $17 million in cash from the Loomis Fargo vault in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was the second largest cash robbery in American history at the time. Gant fled to Mexico. His accomplices stayed in North Carolina. Within weeks, they began buying jet skis, new cars, and a house with a pool. One of them paid a real estate broker with a stack of bills still bound in the original bank currency strap with the Loomis logo on it. The broker called the police. Every member of the crew was arrested within months. Gant was caught in Mexico. He had mailed his new address to a friend back home. The Florida Sunday crew. In 2010, Oscar Montoya and Juan Hernandez broke into a bank in South Beach, Florida on a Sunday morning. The vault was locked. All the cash was secured inside and could not be touched until Monday. Rather than leave, the 2 men spent several hours collecting every coin they could find around the building. They left with a jar of loose change worth approximately $7. Police found them the same afternoon. They were still in the area. They had not gone far because they had no money for gas. The Hatton Garden crew. Over Easter weekend in 2015, a group of men drilled through the wall of a vault beneath London's most secure jewelry district and spent 3 days emptying safe deposit boxes. They made off with an estimated £14 million in cash, diamonds, and jewelry. The oldest member of the gang was 76 years old. They were methodical, patient, and technically skilled. Then they spoke about it on the phone. Investigators had placed bugs in their cars months earlier. Every conversation about how to divide the money and where to hide it was recorded. They were arrested one by one. The operation had been watched from the beginning. Valerio Vice was already wanted for over 50 armed robberies across Italy when he walked into a security vault in London in 1987 and pulled off one of the most audacious heists in British history. He and his crew spent an afternoon emptying deposit boxes and walked away with millions in cash and valuables. He fled to South America and built a comfortable life in Colombia. He lived there for years, undisturbed. Then he decided to ship his Ferrari back to England. He returned in person to handle the paperwork. Officers were waiting at the port. He had been under surveillance since the car was flagged months earlier. He was arrested on the dock, next to the shipment.